Figure 4 Radio.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Figure 4 Radio.
For Figure 4 Radio, I am the Mastermind Ollie Spring, today joined by Scott Star Spud.
Hey, you alright, mate?
How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Cool, so we're here today to talk about Wrestlemania predictions.
Yeah, so it's a week to go when you're listening to this. Almost literally, I think it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a quite stacked card.
It's, to be honest, I am looking forward to this one, possibly more than any of recent memory.
Really? Why?
I think purely because of the matches they've got, the ones that are announced and the people that are on the card. I think in previous years it's been the surprises that have made it, whereas I don't think we need too many surprises this year.
But I think there could be surprises.
There will be.
I
think there will be. But so far, looking down the card on paper, I think this is probably the most positive looking Wrestlemania we've had in a while.
Oh, definitely. And I think we need to get straight into it because the actual show is going to be 27 hours in length.
It is, yeah.
And so we don't want this to be the same. We want this to be succinct.
Precisely.
And
so
awesome.
We're going to start off at the bottom of the card and work our way up.
That's what she said.
That's how we like to do it. So let's start off on Wikipedia. We're going to go with Wikipedia. The bottom current listed match we have is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
And
now,
that deserves to be on the pre-show. Let's be fair.
Well, I guess we'll see. Now, last year, Kai Brand famously or infamously managed to predict the winner. And we thought he was absolutely nuts when he picked Mojo Rawley.
Was he drunk?
I'm not sure. Maybe he should have been, but
he did. Yeah,
he called it. He called it at the end of the day.
But this is why the whole battle royal needs to be on the pre-show because they don't do anything with the winners.
That's true,
and it really annoys me.
I mean, you look down the list of winners, and I guess there's a list of people that have gone on to
stand next to a statue for a couple of weeks,
That's
and then
true.
they forget about it.
The winners have all gone on to do more things.
They've gone on to literally do more things.
They have done things, further things than the Battle Royal.
Yeah, I mean, look at Big Show. He grew a beard.
Big Show. I mean, Cesaro won the first one. Then we had Big Show. Then we had Baron Corbin. Who's your picks at the moment? We haven't had at time of recording. We're currently we're 2 days away from Monday Night Raw. At the moment, we've got 3 superstars from Raw and 6 superstars from SmackDown announced. So we've got both members of the Revival. We've got Baron Corbin, Mojo Rawley, Ty Dillinger, Matt Hardy, Ziggler, and then Breeze and Fandango.
See, I can get into this event because do you remember when Miz and Mizdow had their little bit with
that was brilliant, and then they ruined it because that was Mizdow was at his hottest.
Yeah,
and they blew it.
But what I mean is they can have some mini stories in there. So the things I'm looking forward to for this is Woken Matt Hardy and possibly Woken Wyatt teaming up.
Okay.
But not necessarily winning it because they don't need to.
So who's your prediction?
I think we should cover Kai's and Luco Max first.
Okay, so Killer Kai Brand is calling for Baron Corbin to win again.
Well, he's wrong, but that's fine.
Okay, Luco Mac is guessing either Dolph Ziggler or a returning Big Cass. I like the Big Cass idea, I'm not going to lie.
That's why I wanted their predictions first, because I like the idea of having a returning person to the roster. So I'm thinking that they don't really have entrances for this, do they? Because otherwise that would add another hour to the card. Everyone
comes down at once, and again, that's why it was either last year or the year before that Tatanka was there, and no one knew until halfway through the match. It was like, oh, by the way, there's that absolute legend, Hall of Famer in the middle of this match, and we're barely going to talk. Literally, no reason he was just there.
But so I think what they need to do is have Samoa Joe jump the barrier, take someone out, and take their spot in the Battle Royal. Go on to win.
Whose spot would he take? Someone like Kurt Hawkins, or
Heath Slater, Rhino,
anybody.
To be honest, because he's not on the card. I'm hoping he's cleared. I think it'd be a nice surprise. He would look good standing next to a statue for 2 weeks, but hopefully then they'll give him a push to do something with it.
So you're going Samoa Joe?
Yeah. What are you doing?
I'm not so sure. I mean, I'm thinking maybe Matt Hardy. Purely because they're trying to get that.
Wonderful.
Yeah, they're trying to get his gimmick over, and I think he needs.
His gimmick's over. I know you disagree. That Ultimate Deletion, I loved it.
I still haven't seen it, if I'm being honest. But
then watch it. It's online.
I think at the moment, out of everybody on that list, he's the only one with momentum and wheels underneath him right now.
I think the only other person who could possibly win it is guitar guy, who I've now forgotten the name
Elias.
of. Elias.
Yeah,
Because
Elias
he's not
Sampson.
announced anything yet.
That's true.
And I don't know whether they're holding him back for Braun or something else.
Why would he be with Braun? It seems a bit silly.
It seems obvious, but he could be a backup. You know
maybe.
what they're like, because that's the whole
They'll keep
reason
him
we're in
in the
this
back pocket.
position.
I
Yeah.
mean, but the thing is, there's probably going to be another, 10, 15 announced competitors. So I think chances are, I'm looking down the list and I'm thinking it's more likely to be a surprise entrant that's going to win it than anyone.
Yeah, because the list is what? 10 people?
Yeah, but it's also no one that. I say the only person I think I'm going Matt Hardy. I'm just going to go out there, Matt Hardy.
I wouldn't mind Matt Hardy winning.
Yeah. Women's Battle Royal is not the non.
That's not going to be pre-show though.
The non Mae Young, non Snickers,
Snickers sponsored Battle Royal for women.
And again, at the moment, we have 2 from Raw, which is Sasha and Bayley.
Just the 2.
And we've got 3, 6, 7 from SmackDown at the moment. Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, Naomi, Natalya, Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, and Lana.
There's going to be a lot of guest participants in this just to build up numbers. So there's supposed to be NXT people in as well, but they haven't announced any yet, have they?
Just like the Royal Rumble, I think.
See, I like this. This could be quite exciting because the Sasha Bayley thing, they don't need a match on Mania. I like the fact they could have their Miz Dow spot in this, and that would work quite nicely. You could also have some... I mean, if there's only 2 Raw women in it, which it looks like there is, you could have the entire SmackDown roster go against them, even to put more spin on that heel turn for whoever it happens to go for.
Oh, okay. Well, Killer Kai Brand is going for Ruby Riott. I'm a fan of Ruby, I'm not going to lie. Luke O'Mac is going for Becky Lynch or a debuting Nikki Cross. I mean, there is a chance for Sam.
Nikki Cross will be in it because she's female and in NXT.
She's signed and is female.
It's not like they've got a lot of people to pick from here.
I mean, there is a lot of talk about Sanity coming up, and that would be a good little debut for Nikki Cross. Personally, I'm going to go for Sasha Banks. I think they need to start putting the rocket back on her back, and I think this would be a good start for her.
See, I'm actually going to agree with Luke O'Mac. I think it's Becky Lynch because she's kind of squandering at the minute. She is the first women's SmackDown champion.
I think she's already got that first something under her belt, so she doesn't need it.
Yeah, but it's not being shared out. If they're going to go down this 4 horsewomen thing in the future, which I think they might be, it's not going to hurt to have her being the inaugural winner of the Snickers Memorial Battle Royal. And
I guess, yes, I suppose she could, because a good friend of mine, Hustle Malone, has said about moments, and once you have a moment to your name, no one ever takes that away. So the first ever person to win this, the first ever person to do that, was an entrant in the first ever type of this match. As soon as you got something like that, the first ever 3-time winner of this, the first ever thing, you can't take it away. And
there's lots of women that are going to be getting these first. I mean, we've had the first cage, first Elimination Chamber, first
Money
Rumble.
in the Bank.
Yeah,
so, and this is the thing. So this is the time, and I think maybe given, because that's the thing, Becky doesn't have to do anything else apart from win certain things. So all she has to do is win the first ever SmackDown Championship,
and I think she needs it in the nicest sense possible. I think she needs the boost.
Okay, that's fair enough. So I'm still going Sasha. You're going with Luke and with Becky.
Yeah,
cool. Moving up the list on Wikipedia, somehow they've got Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn as the next lowest match.
I am loving this so much.
Yes, I'm.
Was that a joke? Yes.
Yes. I'm going in kind of tentative purely because it's almost like when you know that moment when we first saw Shane stood on top of the cage about to jump off on the Undertaker.
Yeah.
When you kind of you could feel your heart beating in the back of your throat. Like I've kind of got that kind of feeling that I don't want Daniel Bryan to come out, go at 300 mile an hour and injure himself again, because he had his big win at Mania, then he got injured, then he came back and he won the ladder match and then had to retire it again. I don't want him to come back for Mania and just get carried away and then again Monday Night Raw say I went too hard, I've got to retire again.
That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Is it not?
No. I think something we do need to acknowledge is that Shane McMahon was in hospital apparently with diverticulitis thingy. That's the one, and apparently he's also got a hernia. So is he going to be? How can they clear him to wrestle when they didn't clear Daniel Bryan, who apparently has been medically done for a sodding year or so?
Well, this is the thing. Like with wrestling, you never know. I mean, the rumors. Even if it's confirmed by WWE.com.
Well, they still announced it, didn't they? That he was going to be there for WrestleMania.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. You never know how true anything is that you're given. So I'm gonna go in with an open mind still. I'm gonna still presume that this is the match.
I'm going to say
Yep.
that there could be a replacement for him.
Which is fine.
And I know I know who I want it to be in a little bit of fantasy booking.
Who do you want it to be?
I want the lights to go completely black out and go, squeeze, squash, squeeze, squash, break the walls down.
Chris
Jericho.
back.
Makes sense storyline.
Okay.
Because of the fallout with Kevin Owens.
Okay, yeah.
Or Kevin Steen. I would love if they announced him as Kevin Steen and El Generico.
Well, this is the thing that have you seen recently? El Generico's Facebook account
is live. He's selling
active.
T-shirts.
So,
but also the T-shirts are only for 12 days or something, which kind of
how
gives
many,
away results somehow. I think
at that point, how many days were we to WrestleMania?
12 days.
Yeah. Now, this is the thing. So, what it could be is, I mean, could
that influence the outcome of the match? Do they know?
It's almost as if El Generico, like Sami Zayn, could be fired and El Generico could come back the next night as a debut.
No.
Or
because it's on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Do you think
it's not on WWE.com?
Well, but
so WWE, if WWE thought they were going to get some money from El Generico, they would not let them sell them on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Well,
at all.
unless it's another story, because they're starting.
It's storyline. It's
bloody
genius.
They're starting
storyline
to branch out with this. So, what do you think the story is going to be?
I think the story is that, well, obviously they've changed the name to Kevin Steen and El Generico because they're now back on the Indies. I think that's playing into the fact they've been fired. I think if Shane is there, I want Daniel Bryan to turn on him. I think Shane McMahon's been a twat. But we've got the Yes Movement with 3 of the hottest stars off the independents, regardless of how long they've been in WWE.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
I can see it happening. I mean, I think it is nice that they're keeping Daniel with Kevin and Sammy.
But I don't think we need Daniel Bryan wrestling all the time. In the nicest sense possible.
No, true.
There's some dream matches I want, definitely.
Yeah. So
I'm saying that Kevin Owens and El Generico Sami Zayn will win, but with a swerve from Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
Although I reserve the right to say that Shane McMahon may swerve on Daniel Bryan.
The Killer Kai brand has also gone for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, as has Luke O'Mac. So I am...
As has Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yeah, this is where I always fall down. But you know what? I'm live by the sword, die by the sword. I'm going to vote against everybody else. I'm going to risk it. So I'm going to say Daniel Bryan and Shane O'Mac win, and then that adds some further drama to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And where do they go? Do they go back to Raw? Do they then
welcome to Wrongsville?
Do they start interfering in SmackDown live events until they're reinstated? Do they go back to NXT?
You are so wrong. I can't be bothered to discuss it.
No, I'm just throwing out questions. I'm just throwing out questions. It's just
throwing out stupid questions.
It's just a discussion.
Let's be fair.
Well, there was a lot. There was
not going to win.
There was talk of NXT becoming a bigger brand and almost like a third same level brand as the other two. And in which case they would need some star power. And imagine if Kevin and Sammy went back to NXT.
I see where you're going with it, but I don't think it's going to be bigger. It's going to be like 205.
I don't believe it will happen, but I'm just throwing out questions for discussion.
I think we're going off on a tangent for completely different things. But
that's fine.
Speaking of 205 live,
I'm going Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon. Don't skip out. Don't skip it, and don't skip the next match on Wikipedia. I see where you're going. I saw your little link, and you're wrong.
Let's be honest, the 205 live match is pre-show fodder.
Well, yeah. So, but next up on Wikipedia is Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. I think this is a no-brainer. It's going to have to be Kurt and Ronda, right?
Yeah, definitely. Kurt and Ronda all the way. I think Ronda could surprise us. Let's face it, she is a world-class athlete, regardless of what you say.
Yeah,
she has excellent physical control because you have to be a judo champion and the UFC fighter. No buts.
No, I'm trying to get my butt in.
No, hang on.
Wait, that came out wrong. No, carry on. I'll let you finish.
I think she's obviously committed. We know that she's been training hard for it. And she is a world-class athlete. And she's also a fan. That's the big thing. That she's a fan, and that's why she's going to succeed.
I think that's her biggest hurdle to overcome is because every time she's in the ring, and this is the thing, right? So you have, I can't remember who said it, but there was a quote about you are either a professional wrestler or you are portraying a professional wrestler. And I think the comparison I had was Kevin Owens is a professional wrestler. Roman Reigns is playing the role of a professional wrestler. Ronda Rousey, every time she's been in that ring, she's either been super smiley, as in, oh my god, I can't believe I'm here, just like every other guest host, guest star, They turn up, they
But
smile
that's
and wave.
her.
No, yeah, but it's not.
It is.
But that might be her, but she isn't a wrestling character. She doesn't have...
But that's the point. They've not got her in to repackage her as a character. They've got her in for name value, and the name value is Ronda Rousey. They don't need to change that.
I think they need to give her something, because so far she's
they
either...
They gave her Rowdy.
Oh, that's not a gimmick, because she hasn't been Rowdy yet.
She will be. She's not a match.
She's been aggressive in places.
Look, we've seen her point. She can point at a sign.
I hated that. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on the end of the Women's Royal Rumble. No, I just don't. This is the thing. I don't like people who just turn up and that's it. You need a hook. You need a gimmick in wrestling.
She is the hook and the gimmick.
Nah, not for me.
She's the baddest woman on the planet, and she can make a legitimate claim to it.
Again, you need look at who was the baddest. Was it Ken Shamrock?
Ken Shamrock,
and he was a fucking psycho in the ring.
But that's different. You're not supposed to swear. This on TalkSport. No, but that's different because at that time they didn't train him properly. This time they have the training facility. They've got the instructors.
I know, but this is the thing. But if you're going to call her the baddest woman on the planet, have her come out and do more than just chokeslam Triple H to the table once. After she took 3 or 4 slaps and a whole load of verbal abuse, she took all that. She's basically the new Roman Reigns. She took all that abuse while smiling, and then she took a few slaps.
No, she didn't. Because once she stopped smiling once it got physical, then she frowned.
But oh, he frowned.
She frowned.
Holy.
Ronda, if you're listening, Ollie's just saying that you're incompetent as a wrestler.
Well, no, I haven't.
And we at Fig 4 Radio entirely disagree with him.
I'm not saying as a wrestler. I'm talking as a character in wrestling. I don't think she's got enough charisma to just walk in and be there like that. There's just something missing.
She doesn't need to for the first match. She's got Kurt Angle, Triple H, and Stephanie. We could exactly say the same about Stephanie. How many times she wrestled? When did she last wrestle?
Oh no, but she
3 years ago. SummerSlam.
The character. But this is the thing. Wrestling isn't about wrestling. It's about character. It's about charisma.
Ronda Rousey is her character. You don't get to be in Hollywood films if you don't have some kind of charisma or ability to act.
When you say Hollywood films, she's been in a few as bit parts. Not really.
She's had more success than Triple H has. Him chaperoning people about. What the hell was that?
But Triple H is the CEO of WWE.
But my point being, she has talent.
But I'm yet to. The thing is,
she's done stunt woman work. Right, she's done stunt woman work, which is basically fighting without hurting people. Sounds very similar to wrestling to me.
But this is the thing. Wrestling is such a unique thing, and I think you've either got it or you don't. Regardless of your physical ability, regardless of what you've done anywhere else in any other sport, it takes a very special person to be a good wrestler.
Right, we'll take Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat at WrestleMania 3. It's widely regarded as one of the best matches out of WrestleMania, and it was done number by number. It's very famous for that it was planned in advance, and it was done step by step by step by step by step. They can do that with Ronda. All she has to do is pull off one move, remember the order, because they've got time to rehearse that again and again and again.
Yeah, Ricky and Randy were professional wrestlers. They were very charismatic. They had the look. They had the charisma.
She's got the look. She's got the charisma. She threw Triple H to the table.
Yeah, I'm just not buying it. I'm just not buying it.
That is one of the best matches around. I know a lot of people don't like it for the way it was done, but the way it was done worked, and they have the facilities, both literally in the NXT facility, to replicate that.
I get they have the PC. I get that they've got that ability, but as I say, my main point is I'm still waiting to be wowed by Ronda Rousey. I haven't yet.
But she's mainstream. We've discussed this about WrestleManias before.
This is the thing. So, and I think this is why I'm not.
It's a mainstream hook.
I'm not sold on it because it's mainstream, and I want to see wrestlers. I don't want to see pop stars. I don't want to see movie icons. I want to see solid wrestling.
Yeah, but look at we've got a WWE Celebrity Hall of Fame, so you're going to see that. No,
but it doesn't mean I have to like it. But moving on. As you were
basically, we all agree it's Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey going over.
Yeah, it's just got to be.
I genuinely, I want that match to surprise us.
No, this is the thing. I'm not saying that it's not going to. I'm saying that I haven't been surprised yet. I haven't been blown away yet. I'm waiting for Ronda Rousey to blow me away.
Again, we're on TalkSport. We can't do your phallic references.
Anyway, moving on. So what were you saying about 205 Live?
I'm saying it's on the pre-show. I don't care about the match. Skip it.
Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali. Give me a name out of the two.
It's gonna Cedric Alexander.
Same Cedric
I could
for me.
not care, in all honesty.
Killer Kai Brand is going for Mustafa Ali, as is Luko Mack.
Oh, it's nice that they're wrong.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. So
hang on. Kai, give me one reason why you're right.
beer.
There we go.
I'll buy you beer, Scott.
Really? Oh, yeah. I agree. Mustafa Ali's going to win this.
So, triple threat tag team match for SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The Usos versus
Usos?
them versus the New Day.
New Day
versus the Bludgeon Brothers.
Bludgeon?
Doesn't quite have the same ring. I think the Usos and the New Day have been the best tag team feud since American Alpha and the Revival.
Okay, I thought you were going to set standards a bit higher than that, but
What?
that's okay.
Whoa. No, this is again. We do not have the time for me to argue with about this. That was some of the best tag team wrestling I've ever seen in NXT, granted. But
right, this can go one of two ways.
Okay,
I think you're going to have the way it could go, which I don't want it to, is the Usos could team up with the New Day and take out the Bludgeon Brothers,
and then get back to their feud.
And kind of one of them will get a win, and then they'll get their feud and go on. But in the words of Queen, I'm waiting for the hammer to fall, and I think the Bludgeon Brothers have to win it to take it forward, because let's face it, they're undefeated so far in their comeback type thing.
Yep.
Admittedly, they've not really faced anybody, if that makes sense. They've not really had any major match. It's all been squash. But you can't kill them off.
There's been a lot of work into repackaging them. They've got a very specific new look.
That's what I mean. You don't put that much effort into repackaging someone to have them lose at the first big match.
And this is it. And at the end of the day, if they were looking to get someone to look to challenge the Usos in the New Day, just to have them go over on them, I think it's a lot of hassle to put two teams over that are already very over. I'm personally going with Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah, snap.
As is
What
Killer
have the kids
Brand. The kids. Luke O'Mac is going with the Usos.
Really?
Yep. Whereas Yumi and the Killer Kai brand are going with Bludgeon Brothers. I hate the name. Every time I say it, it sounds...
is a rubbish name.
It sounds so WWF 1980s.
But I don't have a problem with it. It's just the fact they can't follow through on the name. They can't follow through the hammers because of all of the PC blood.
Guess they
stuff.
can't bludgeon anybody.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only reason I don't like it. Character-wise, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Just maybe a name.
Yeah. But like, you remember when Aces and Eights in TNA had the hammer that they would... It was obviously,
the rubber hammer.
It was obviously gimmicked, but
they'd hammer in the morning, and they'd hammer in the evening.
but this is it. So at least it looked brutal. Even though you know... And this is the thing with wrestling. You suspend your disbelief. Even though you know that when someone hits someone in the kneecap with this hammer, it's not a real hammer because that would shatter someone's kneecap.
Yeah,
but
it's not like Impact
shattered
someone's orbital socket recently.
It's more the fact that you are shocked that they let them follow through with this gimmick storyline. You're like, wow, they actually had him hit him with a hammer, like hammer in inverted commas. But
then it's like the Triple H sledgehammer. It was always a stomach shot with his hand over the edge of the stand.
But you knew it was that's the thing. There was never that moment of, oh wow, he actually just hit him with a sledgehammer. Because you always knew that. This is the thing. There was never the same moment.
Those are the bits I hate where you kind of go, if you're going to use a hammer as a weapon, use a hammer as a weapon.
Yeah.
Don't just... It's because then you can't suspend disbelief. It's like... I compare it to one of the Wolverine films where he's in the bathroom in front of the mirror and the claws come out of his hand. And it looks so badly CGI'd, I could not get over that for the rest of the film. And I didn't enjoy the rest of it.
Origins, right?
That's what I mean. You can't suspend disbelief if you do something badly.
That's fine. Moving up the list, we're going on to Cesaro and Sheamus versus Braun Strowman and... TBD. I mean, I'm a big fan of TBD. I love his work.
I know what he's done. Especially his stuff in Mexico and Japan was amazing.
He's a well-travelled man.
I thought it was a she.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. The best diva. Isn't that what it stands for?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
So, actually, before we get into this,
go on.
Killer Kai Brand is guessing either Eliath or Bray Wyatt.
Oh, what, as the partner?
As the partner.
He's wrong about Bray Wyatt. I think Bray Wyatt's going to be Woken Wyatt. I think you can't get thrown into the lake of reincarnation and not change characters somehow.
How is he going to come back? Should we, just a quick one. How do you think he's going to come back if that's the case?
I think either he comes back as Woken Wyatt and sort of does like a Brother Nero type of character.
Oh, okay. So like almost like the puppet for Matt.
Kind of.
Or
and then you wanted me to say Husky Harris, don't you?
I want to say IRS.
Oh, good shout.
He comes back in a shirt, in a tie with his suspender things.
Everybody's gotta pay their taxes.
Yeah, just for
Shits and giggles, yeah.
A cheap pop for the adults in the crowd. Sorry, for what?
Shits and giggles. So what we really need to do, the first bit we have to cover is who is going to be Braun Strowman's partner.
I don't think he's going to have one. I think
no, he has to. They've stated on Raw he cannot compete without a partner.
Okay, well, my shout was Ellsworth.
No, that was my shout, but we're both in agreement.
In separate conversations, we've both said Ellsworth.
We both want it. It makes sense. It brings the story,
Yes.
the Ellsworth story, full circle. The only problem I've got with it is that WWE want to give it to an active roster member rather than James Ellsworth.
Who else makes sense?
Rey Mysterio. Because let's face it, Little Big.
But but how does?
Well, there's rumours that he can come back, and I know he's got an injury, but you can cover that in a tag team match. They don't need anybody to do a lot for Rey. He just needs to throw a couple of 619s, and Braun can do the rest. And he can also do all the same things Ellsworth can do. So Braun could use Rey as a weapon, throw him around, dart him across the ring.
True.
Although I'd love to see him do that with Ellsworth, and basically Ellsworth.
They still could.
I just don't think they will.
He could do it with Big Show. Like he
That's
could throw
my worry.
Big Show around the ring.
That is my worry, that they'll roll out Big Show, because we know he's been training. He's been posting all his pictures since coming back from hip surgery. Two big men, they win it, have a feud later on, and you just kind of go, I don't want that.
A shout out to the Meme Street Posse right now. I think it was
Pete Gas?
The Meme Street Posse. Somebody, I'm trying to think who said it. It was either Khan or Kev. Said Bobby Lashley.
I don't care about Bobby Lashley. I'm sorry.
That's
I
fine,
know that they were talking about
that's a name that's been thrown out there from the.
I don't think he's big enough to get a pop.
Pop the boys.
Ellsworth is recent enough to get a big pop, and I think fans would like it.
Yeah.
I think Rey Mysterio got a massive pop at the Rumble.
Yeah.
I think it would work.
He was at the Rumble, wasn't he?
He was at the Rumble.
I always forget this.
So that's why I think him. I think they're holding back announcing Elias in the Battle Royal to possibly have him as a partner.
Just in case.
Well, no, because Braun can basically say that he's the toughest person he's faced. You could have Big Kaz in that role. I hope we don't.
True, you could.
But this is why it's quite intriguing. Either way, I think Braun has to win it.
Oh yeah, he's going to win.
He's going to win it.
No way is he going to lose. Has he actually? Is he still undefeated?
No, he's not.
Has he been pinned?
I don't know if he's been pinned, but I know
submitted.
he's not defeated. Well, because he's been in matches which he hasn't won, which is technically a defeat, is it not?
Well,
yeah.
But he's still no one's. He's
I
yet
don't know if
to
someone's
be...
pinned him. They've protected him very well.
Yeah, true. But yeah, I think so far everybody is going. Yeah,
everybody's going to get these hands.
We're all going for the.
Everybody's going to get these hands.
Yeah.
What was that?
That was just me.
Randy Savage has walked in, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Get these hands, brother. Yeah.
Apparently it's the love child of Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan.
Moving very, very, very swiftly on. Charlotte Flair and Asuka. This is one of the matches that intrigues me the most.
Why does it intrigue you first?
Well, because I've said to a lot of people that everybody can hear certain rumours and believe them, but there is always you're only ever 99% sure that something's going to happen. There is always a chance that something could get swerved, that they could take a different...
Are you thinking Carmella cashing in?
Well, no. I'm just saying that everyone presumes that Asuka is going to keep being undefeated, and the big rumour is that they're going to protect Ronda Rousey for a whole year, and Ronda Rousey is going to beat Asuka next year.
But they've already announced her to be main eventing. Or not necessarily main eventing. I think next year we're going to have women main eventing Mania, because they've announced that Ronda Rousey is going to be at WrestleMania 35. So they've got to have something big. That would make sense.
Yeah, no, true. But there's absolutely no guarantee that it's going to happen. Just because Dave Meltz has reported it, or someone's like, there's never a guarantee, and this is why it intrigues me because there's a lot on the line for both people. Charlotte is the biggest female competitor they've got right now, other than Asuka. As far as Western famous women with the heritage, with the pedigree, everything is in Charlotte's favour right now.
But this is why I'm thinking you throw Carmella in.
No, true.
I think if Carmella does a Rollins and cashes in during the match, it becomes a triple threat.
Would they do that
to protect Charlotte? Yes.
No, because they've already done it once at a WrestleMania, and that's still very fresh in people's minds. And the whole reason it was such a surprise is because it had never happened at WrestleMania. Are they really going to throw it out there? And how? You think?
I think it's a definite possibility. It makes sense. It's like when Austin Aries versus Pete Dunne versus James Ellsworth. They brought Ellsworth in so that Pete Dunne and Austin Aries respective companies' champions, didn't have to take a pin and lose.
Yeah.
I think you could do that.
Okay.
And I think it would protect Charlotte. It would protect Asuka.
So you
Asuka
think...
could get the belt.
Well, I'm thinking Charlotte retains, but
Carmella takes the pin,
and then Asuka still doesn't win, but also hasn't been. But now this is the thing on the Mixed Max Challenge with her and Miz, and I can't remember which match it was. Was it Strowman and Alexa?
I don't think Mixed Max Challenge counts because nobody watched it.
Have you not seen it yet?
Oh, I gave up on them.
So, but okay, basically, just a quick side here. So with the Mixed Match Challenge, I'm trying to think which kind of, it was like the semi-final, quarter-final. It's getting down to the wire, and it was Asuka and Miz versus Strowman and Bliss. And
Bliss tried to kiss Strowman. How do you feel about that, Ollie? We know you have a little bit of a
pure jealousy and rage just swimming through my veins.
Could you be Braun's partner? Would you be Braun's partner? Are you Braun's partner?
Would I be Braun's partner?
Yeah.
No.
Because of what he did to Alexa?
No, because it's the WWE, and who the hell am I?
That is very true.
Anyway, but the story they were telling throughout was that if The Miz was pinned, that Asuka's streak would be over. And literally every time the Miz was looking close to losing, Asuka was freaking out about her streak being over. So to me, that says that generally speaking, regardless of if she is in a match that she doesn't win, that's the streak done.
I don't. Well, no, I think the streak's there.
Well, I see. But this is the thing. Like, is it?
That's a tag team match. Who won that match, by the way?
No. Asuka and Miz still won.
Yeah, so they're going to win it. They're protecting that.
Yeah. Okay. But like you were saying about Braun, he might not have been pinned or submitted, but his streak was over, right?
Yeah, but they're protecting him. Yeah, they've never run him up as being undefeated or anything like that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But this is the thing. So he's yet to be pinned or submitted.
That's why Asuka's going out champ. She's going to take out Carmella. And then you've got a nice, interesting twist that you have the SmackDown champion show up on Raw the next night. Now, I know they're doing some kind of shuffle sometime soon, and that'll obviously play into it a little bit. But no, I think that's got to happen. It's the only way I can think of getting round it.
Yeah.
And protecting all of the talent.
Or Asuka could just go over clean.
She could do. I'd be surprised because they do seem to be protecting Charlotte quite a lot.
I'm not sold on the fact that that Carmella's going to cash in.
No, neither am I. I just think it's a solution. But that's my prediction. She's going to cash in at some point in that match, and Asuka's going to leave with the championship. So whether that's Asuka going over clean and then Carmella cashing in and also being pinned, Asuka's walking away champion. That's my prediction.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going with Asuka walking away as the champion, with no Carmella interference. I reckon Carmella might try and cash in on SmackDown on Tuesday night. But I'm saying that Asuka's going to win clean over Charlotte.
Before you do you think that Carmella could cash in on the Raw women's match? Is that a possibility?
Can she?
Because it was not a dual branded pay-per-view, was it? It was just you can cash in on the women's champion.
That's true. Okay.
So,
well, I guess there could be. There's room for swerve.
Anyway, what did the kids say? What did the kids say?
The kids all went with Asuka.
Did they?
Yeah. But I'm, as I said, I'm just going to say I'm not sold that they're going to have another cash in on WrestleMania. I think they need to keep it as special as possible for Rollins.
Well, we'll wait and see.
We will. And the next match on Wikipedia, as it goes at the moment, is Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax. Of
course. You think Carmella's going to cash in her Money in the Bank match?
No, I'm not. I'm saying so starting off, the kids have gone. Kai's gone for Alexa, and
but who does he think's going to win the match?
Luke has gone for Nia.
And who does Luke think's going to win the match?
Dude, I'm going to say Alexa because she's
your ideal pin-up.
She's my future second wife.
She is your screen wallpaper. Your laminated print.
If my current marriage ever breaks down, it will be because of Alexa, I think.
I don't know with this one. I really don't.
It's a cool. I think it's a really, really cool the fact that everyone knows they're the best of friends in outside of the WWE. So I think it's really cool they get to have a match together.
Yeah, and it's also quite interesting that this is a singles match as well. I kind of think Nia Jax should get it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but in my heart, I actually want Alexa to win because I'm enjoying her as champ.
Unless they gimmick it so that it's going to be
Mickie James.
No, as in like, so make it a tables match or something like that, where she takes where Nia steps back off the apron, puts her foot through a table. Oh, and Alexa wins.
Well, Mickie James is there though, so there could be some sort of swerve. But
tomfoolery.
I think Nia's going to win. I want Alexa to win.
Yeah, I'm going Alexa. I don't care. I don't care. I'm just she is everything.
But I think it could be quite good. I think Alexa's been absolutely amazing as champ though.
No, 100%. You are right. Everything positive you say about Alexa is correct.
Compared to her NXT run, where she was just shadowing some half-wit tag champs.
Yep.
A million times better.
She's got to be one of the breakout success stories
100%.
Of the Performance Center.
110%.
Moving on to the United States Championship match.
Also known as the opening match of the pre-show.
It's now a four-way between... You think this is going to be pre-show?
This is pre-show. It screams a pre-show.
Really?
Just because I don't care about it. Okay, give me one reason to care about it.
Randy Orton, Bobby Roode. Okay, I'll give you one reason. Rusev Day.
And then he's only just been thrown into it because he's so over. And now I get it. He's over. They've put him in the match. It doesn't inspire me. Out of all of the matches we've discussed, all the matches on the card, this one I could not give a damn about.
Which is fine. So, but still, it's a match on the card. I think it's got a lot of potential. Now, I've said this before. Bobby Roode, I'm a huge fan of because he was such a big part of TNA. I've never been a massive fan of his ring work because he doesn't tend to do the flashy shit. He's just solid.
He's solid, yeah.
He is solid. Randy Orton
bores the hell out of me.
Jinder Mahal, hell no. Rusev, I'm going Rusev for this, basically.
You know what? I think everyone wants Rusev to win.
Yeah,
and I think the WWE aren't going to let that happen. I think they're going to go with Jinder. I think Jinder's championship reign was a success. They're touring. I don't know if they're touring India or something, but they've got the Mega Royal Rumble thingy.
Oh yeah.
I think they're going to put it on Jinder.
Okay, well, so does Luke O'Mac.
Well, Luke's very clever.
Killer Cobrand's going Bobby Roode. I'm going Rusev. It's got to be Rusev.
Although I think it could be interesting. I think you're going to have a heel turn from either Roode or Orton. Everyone expects it from Orton. That's probably why we're bored of him. I want to see Bobby Roode back as the heel he was in NXT.
Yeah,
because I enjoy that character much more.
Then he's only just turned face, hasn't he? Really?
No, they brought him in as a face in the show. They did because he was a heel in NXT. We loved it. This is where they're screwing up. And I know I'm going off on a tangent. Okay. They bring people up from NXT, and then they go, right, you know everything that's worked in NXT. Let's change it because we're on the main show now.
Yeah,
and
but
it's screwing it all up.
There have been so many instances where what has worked on NXT has not worked on the main roster.
Yeah, because they're doing stupid stuff and changing it.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I think the only exception to it is possibly Alexa Bliss.
The people that they've brought up from NXT to the main roster that have stayed the same, largely... it hasn't got over.
Yeah, because they haven't booked it right.
Look at Emma. Look at the Vaudevillains.
But the Vaudevillains, they changed their characters as well.
Because it wasn't getting over to begin with.
No, because they changed it as soon as they got to main roster. They tweaked it. What's the demon tag team thingy? I've forgotten the names. The Friends of the Fashion Police.
The Ascension.
Ascension. They completely changed their gimmick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
from day one,
but there's no guarantee they'd have stayed if they'd have stayed the same.
Anyway, sorry, we can discuss this at a later date.
So yeah, I think there's still. I mean, fatal four-way matches, anything can happen. Anyone could beat anybody. And you think if Rusev pins Bobby Roode, that means Randy Orton's got his in. That means Jinder can then have a singles match. That means Bobby Roode can complain and somehow get him out. There's plenty of options for it. So I'm still going Rusev because he is the most over regardless. He deserves it.
He is the most over.
They need to stop messing around with him and just treat him like the superstar he is, and stop trying to bully him for cutting his hair or marrying the love of his life. Just get over it, accept that he's there, and just start taking him seriously because he is over AF.
Yeah, so should we move on to the next match?
Yeah, third
which
from
is
top.
The triple threat
now,
match.
This match annoys me in so many ways.
Why does this annoy you?
The Miz versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor.
Balor.
Right. One of the things that I can't remember who I was saying this to. It was in a car ride to a wrestling show recently. One of the things I've always loved about TNA, and one of the things that always annoys me about WWE is how blurred the lines are between each championship bracket or table or ladder. So in TNA, you very, very, very rarely have anybody going from world champion then try and become X Division champion.
Okay, so that bothers you with this?
Because Finn Balor and Seth Rollins are not intercontinental level. They're above it. They're world champions. This is it, and this is the thing. Like, and I get they're maybe trying to raise the bar for the Intercontinental Championship, but the Intercontinental Championship.
We've got Cesaro in this match.
Huh? No, not the bar. Like,
oh, right,
the figurative bar. So this is the thing. So it's meant to be a big deal. I like the fact there's a logical thing. So you have to debut, then you go for the Intercontinental or US, and then once you've won that a few times and had a few more bigger feuds, you then go for the World Heavyweight Championship. You don't have so in fact all three of these people are former World Heavyweight Championships in whatever guise the belt was.
Isn't that what they're trying to do with the belts at the minute? I'm not saying I agree with it. But
yeah, I don't like it.
Like the US Championship was put on Cena.
But then at that point, Cena was because Cena's not. He's not going anywhere near the World Heavyweight Championship for a long, long time. He is not. He is currently stepped. I kind of think of it as leagues, and I've always I hark back to some of the old video games I used to play, and you literally had leagues where you were if you were. I'm trying to think. It was maybe the video game Raw is War, and you started off, and if you went for the European Championship, you would face all of the undercard wrestlers, and then once you beat the king of the undercard, you became the champion.
But then what are you going to do with these guys? Because you can't not have these guys on the card.
Well, no, but then that's why you've gone wrong with your booking.
Well, I haven't booked this. Here's how I would book this pile of shit. I would have at some point Seth Rollins turn on Finn Balor either last week or Monday when this show's released, and bring out a certain demon, because that demon needs to be on a bigger show. They're not using Finn to the best. I know they're trying different coloured jackets. I like it. I know he's
again. That's not a gimmick. Like changing the colour of his shirt. This is the thing. Again, Finn Balor just kind of bores me a little bit because when he comes out as a demon, it's cool.
But that's the point, is it should be. The way it worked in NXT, like the show we went to watch and you watched on your phone while we were there live.
Yeah. Goddamn tall people.
But the point being, it's Finn Balor should have to get into a fight. He needs to be booked like Hulk Hogan was booked, where basically he's beaten down. He'll win a match as Finn Balor, but then he's beaten down and he's hospitalized or whatever.
Yep.
And he needs to just step it up that little bit extra to take it to the next level. Bring out the demon, because that's how they were doing it so well at NXT. Every NXT special 4 times a year, Demon was there
because he had to, because it was a big deal.
Because he had to, it was a big deal.
That's fine, but then at the same time, I'd also like to see them mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, but I also think go with that. Go with that. If the Intercontinental title is a big deal, you tap into Demon. If it's not, you leave it. Now I think they're going to leave it, but the merchandise he's shifting as the Demon, and the character's been twice since he's been called up.
True.
They need to capitalise on that financially. So it's obvious who I want to win. I'm wearing his T-shirt. I want Finn Balor to win.
True.
I think, obviously, Miz has just had a child, so I think the WWE is quite nice. They are quite family-friendly. They're going to let him have a couple of weeks off, so I think he's probably going to drop it. Okay. And I don't really find Seth Rollins very interesting.
Yeah, so I don't find Finn very interesting.
I want my heart wants Finn to win it, and I think they'll go with it.
Okay.
I think he needs it.
Killer Kai Brand is going with Finn Balor.
He is clearly correct.
Luke O'Mac is going Seth Rollins.
Cool.
You've gone Finn Balor.
Yep.
So I'm not sure because... See, and again, you just presume that Miz is going to be off for a while, but...
I don't object to Miz winning it.
Who's to say he's not going to win?
But that last Raw was brilliant.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh, really?
Seen it. Yeah, I don't watch Raw.
Well, you're a fool. Basically,
I
Miz cut a promo where they basically conned Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. And he was basically saying how he's the best Intercontinental Championship. He's the longest reigning. And I don't know whether that's all his reigns combined or what the situation is on that. But then he was basically saying how he was better than the other two. And then he threw in the, I'm better than Mr. Perfect, which obviously caused a bit of a controversy in the Miz-Taraj. And they spun it to attack the Seth and Balor, which was expertly done. It really was, because you thought they're going to turn on Miz. So I think there's possibility of doing it. I know WWE doesn't like doing things clean. I think Finn could pin Seth.
The more you've been talking, the more I've been thinking about it. I'm thinking maybe Finn's going to win, but with help from the rest of the Balor Club, and they're going to start really.
See, I think the
really
Balor Club are going to take out the Miz-Taraj. That's my theory.
I mean, it's so. How's about maybe Balor Club? So Balor wins the belt, and then Monday Night Raw the next night, they get Miz obviously gets his rematch. and then they work towards booking a 6-man tag or something like that.
No, I don't know about that. I just think you've got a way. You don't want the Miztourage ruining this match, but you obviously want to have him on the card because you want him to have that WrestleMania payday. So I think the Bullet Club join Finn and just take out the Miztourage so that it's a straight match.
Okay.
In my head, that makes smart booking sense.
So you want to see the rest of the club come out and be baby faces rather than heel turns.
Just take out the Miztourage. They're there with Finn, so they might as well take him out.
Okay.
They can attack him. Take someone out of the ring. You can have a little bit of one-on-one stuff with Seth and the Miz. But then you got Finn who can come back in. That's my prediction anyway.
That's cool. Well, so I'm going to go Finn Balor purely because
I've talked you into it.
No, because Rollins is just Rollins, whereas Finn Balor's got himself a little. He's got himself a stable behind him. So, and I think this is now the year where Bullet Club is going to start really kind of sinking home in
Balor
the
Club,
whatever you call it. But you know what I mean. Okay. The 2 main events for each brand.
Yeah, and possible third one.
So, of course, yeah. Actually, should we talk about the other one now?
Do you want to talk about the other one now?
Should we talk about it?
This isn't formally announced yet, is it? But it
is going to happen.
It is going to happen.
Yeah.
Go on. I want to go last on this because I really want it to be booked in the way I've come up with.
When Luco Max sent his predictions, it wasn't on there, so he hasn't said it. Kai's prediction.
No. I think Kai went. I think. He went with Taker, didn't he?
Luke went with Taker?
I think he said something along the lines of he hasn't actually cared about a Taker match at Mania since he lost to Lesnar.
Fair enough.
So that was his official line.
Killer Kai Brand has said Cena versus Taker equals should not happen. All in capital letters
Yeah, he was very adamant that it should not happen.
Very vocal.
He's very clear on things where it's not been booked on Raw, it should not happen. But you're just checking the list, aren't you?
I'm just going back to see if we can find who has said what. Which I don't think I can see anywhere. Let's have a look. No, Luke's on with Cena winning.
Okay.
Luke O'Mac has predicted John Cena. I'm thinking it's very easy for... Because this is the thing, if John Cena wins, he's in a club of 3 with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, which could potentially set up... I mean, they could use that as an excuse for a main event at any point. We've all beaten Undertaker, so we're all we're all like all 3 of them are vying for his legacy as being the absolute best right now. Let's have a triple threat match and hug it out. I'm thinking though, I want to see John Cena lose. I think Undertaker needs to win.
So do I. Here's how it needs to be booked. Right.
Okay. So, but for the record, I'm going Taker. Luke is going Cena. Kai is saying it shouldn't happen, so he's going to lose a point on that regardless.
He's lost entirely, hasn't he?
He's not even playing that one.
He's not even taking it seriously.
He never takes anything seriously. He picked Vince McMahon.
He takes pizza seriously.
Yeah, that's true. But in wrestling, I mean, you look at the Pink Slip Challenge that is also available on Podomatic, SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, everywhere you get your podcasts. You look at his first 5 predictions in our Pink Slip Challenge for this year. He had Vince McMahon in his top 5.
Yeah, but also who's winning that challenge at the moment?
True, but only because of Enzo Amore. But anyway, that's another podcast that you should go and listen to straight after this one.
So here is how they need to book it, right?
Yeah, let's hear it.
So for the past few weeks, Cena's been going out on Raw, calling out Taker, and Taker's just ignored him, basically.
Well, no, nothing's happened.
And he keeps going, if I don't get Taker, I'm going to go to WrestleMania as a fan. I want him to go to WrestleMania as a fan.
Okay.
I want him sitting in the crowd. And at some point, they acknowledge he's sitting there, either a quick interview with Renee saying, "Oh, you're here as a fan." Would
he be sitting there with a little cap on, a little
he will be
his
there.
Merch shirt?
He will be there in his usual WWE merchandise, like all of the other fans around him. So let's face it, he's a model for his own merch. He fits in.
Would he have a sign? And if so, who would be on John Cena's WrestleMania sign? Who would he be?
Stop getting involved in my fancy booking. He's in the crowd, in his merch.
I'm just looking to picture the scene in my mind.
Picture the scene. He's there. He's wearing some gaudy colour with his face on it. Right? So he stands out. They put him on camera. Maybe do an interview just to acknowledge he's there. And then leave it. So start the show. He's there as a fan. Taker didn't respond to him. Whatever. So skip forward on the show. You have the Hall of Fame bit coming out.
Uh-huh.
And as we know, Kid Rock is on the Hall of Fame, and he's probably going to perform at the show because he's also got the theme tune.
Oh, is he?
He's got the theme tune for the show.
Damn.
Shut up.
It's no green light, is it?
Shut
really,
up and let me book this. He's going to perform the show's theme tune because it's WrestleMania. They have guest artists. And I think he then goes in to American Badass. And then a bike starts revving. and Taker in American Badass character comes down to ringside on the bike, gets into the middle of the ring, finds Cena in the crowd and says something along the lines of, "Let's do this, bitch," or something like that. Because he can. And I think, and this is why I think it could happen, because they're trying to humanize The Undertaker so they can then put him into the Hall of Fame. Because let's face it, he doesn't show up to these things because it'll break his character. But if he's the American Badass character, which is kind of like an offset of him, it's still Taker. You can have him there, and it humanizes him slightly, and then he can beat the shit out of John Cena. And
as usual with these types of predictions, I would pop if they were to happen. But
no, don't you knock my prediction? That could happen.
No. Anything could happen. But
the WWE told us for a half a decade anything can happen in the WWE.
But every time we dream about these things, to these very specific things, and nothing happens, or it just becomes a very plain match.
In this instance, everything is there to do it.
No, true, yeah, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen.
I know, but it would make sense.
If it does, it would be cool, but I don't want to see you crying when it doesn't happen.
But I think I know that they've held off on it this long. Don't forget, Bray Wyatt versus Taker. Taker didn't appear in the ring till WrestleMania.
True.
So there's precedent there. I like the fact that John Cena could just go as a fan. And everyone's going, oh, okay, that happened. Because we know it's going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, which was like 2 days ago, they had 700 tickets left to sell out Mania.
So John Cena...
They don't need to shift any more tickets.
John Cena needs to be quick if he's going to get his ticket. Then. He's going to be up in the nosebleeds.
Well, don't worry. See, I've got that covered.
What if
because
he's in like section double Z,
you're not
row
thinking
99?
It through. He obviously knows Jinder. Jinder Mahal was offering 2 tickets to Rusev Day to go to Mania. Have them. He's in the crowd. They have tickets there. You're not thinking this through.
Anyway,
that's what I think will happen.
So I'm going Undertaker. Who would you say to win?
Taker.
Taker to win.
I just told you. Taker kicks the shit out of Cena. If Taker loses, his legacy's gone. This is his last match. If he's there, it's his last match.
They haven't announced it as his last match. They
don't do that.
His
anymore.
last match, they need to announce it because it's money on the table. I've said this.
What you mean, like
year.
they did with Austin's last match?
Yeah, but they didn't know that was an injury thing.
He did. He said he knew it was his last match when he went into it.
Well, they were fools for leaving the money on the table.
You're the biggest wrestling company in the world. Fools.
They are. If you know it's going to be his last match and you don't advertise it as his last match, you are a fool because that will sell those last 750 tickets. I guarantee you.
No, I think. No, I don't think they need to. I think we can all assume it's his last match. Or if he does
but then
do
we
special.
assumed last year, and here we are again.
Well, you know what? The only person who said that last year was Kai Brand when he predicted that Taker was retiring. So
yeah.
If Taker doesn't show up, then Kai Brand was right. And there is no universe, WWE or otherwise, where I want that to happen.
Well, we'll have to see what happens. Anyway, AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura. This is possibly the one. And this is the thing. I hope...
Oh, this is going to be good.
I hope they just let them off the... I literally want them to have a New Japan-style match.
I want them to fight forever.
Yeah.
Fuck chanting.
But this is the thing, and I'm really worried that WWE agents are gonna get involved and book this down and dumb it down a bit. I just want to see them go 100 mile an hour and literally like.
Right. We have to acknowledge that AJ may be suffering from an MCL injury.
Okay.
So he should be able to perform, but it might obviously limit some of his movement.
Okay.
So I think that with that in mind, I think you're still gonna have possibly the match tonight on your hands. I just think you have to rein it in a little bit. But I think it's going to be amazing anyway. I don't think they're going to let anyone down. The only thing I've got as my concern is that I really want AJ to win this match. I don't think Shinsuke's ready for that title. And I know that sounds really bad, but he isn't. However, I think if AJ does have an MCL tear and they can repair it, because let's face it, there's so many dream matches you can still have with AJ and he's still performing at a phenomenal level, pardon the pun.
Yep.
I think they're going to give it to Shinsuke.
I'm going Shinsuke. Luke and Kai have both gone AJ.
I want AJ to win. I really do. But I think they're going to give it to Shinsuke.
I want... My head and my heart says Shinsuke Nakamura because they're not... just you look at the... one of the first Japanese... Is he the first Japanese star to win the Royal Rumble? Pretty sure.
Probably. Yokozuna, technically. Are you saying the WWE lied to us?
The Samoan.
Are you saying the WWE lied to us and he wasn't Japanese? Because
yes.
Well, that's outrageous.
Well,
the WWE always tells us the truth.
Well.
And his real name wasn't Rodney.
Such a Japanese name.
I tell you what, I saw Yokozuna versus Hulk Hogan in Wembley Arena when I was a kid in
Wow.
I think I want to say 1993.
Jeez.
And that's when they were saying that Hulk Hogan was going to retire after that tour.
Wow. Okay. So, main event time. And this is the thing, and I think I'm going to surprise a lot of people with what I'm going to say with this.
What? It's not Brock versus Reigns?
No, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. My head and my heart says Roman Reigns, and I think this match I think this could be a contender for match of the night. 100%, not even kidding. You look back at the last time these guys were in the main event.
Yeah.
And even before Seth Rollins cashed in, the match itself was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it was good. He was sitting up, smiling at each other.
They knocked 7 shades out of each other, and I think, to be honest, I was starting to... The more that Brock Lesnar beat up Roman Reigns, the more I respected Brock Lesnar, because you could physically see him paying his dues. He wasn't...
You mean Roman Reigns?
What did I say?
You said Brock Lesnar.
You know
the
what
more
I mean.
you respect
Yeah,
Brock.
you know what
I agree.
I mean.
The
You know
more
what I
he
mean.
beat the shit out of Roman Reigns, the more I really liked him. You're such a glory hound.
I've been working on a bank holiday. My brain isn't working right now. I should be relaxed. I should be half drunk. I should be sitting in sunshine, not walking home from work in the rain. Well, I mean, I know you picked me up, but
I was going to say, yeah, I gave you a lift.
You get what I'm saying.
You cheeky fucker.
It shouldn't be raining, and I shouldn't have to be at work on a bank holiday. Still, I think this.
But you're saving lives.
I am.
For the people at home, he's saving lives.
I
He
am.
prescribes paracetamol. I know, and ibuprofen.
Well, no, I don't prescribe anything. That's the doctor's job. But anyway, we're not here to talk about the world of pharmacy. We're talking about wrestling. I'm saying, I mean, everyone's thinking Roman Reigns is going over, but again, because everyone presumes that Brock Lesnar might be going, blah 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 blah, there is still at least a 1% chance that he's still going to win, and then something could happen on Monday Night Raw. You just don't know.
I don't know on this one. This is the hardest one to call, because I think everyone is assuming that Roman Reigns is going over.
Because it's Roman Reigns.
Because it's Roman
Brock
Reigns.
Lesnar going back to UFC, potentially.
And it's been weirdly booked. See, they've done that whole thing where they said he's not showing up to... Brock Lesnar's not showing up to events because he doesn't care and things like that. He's not showing up to events he's advertised for. I'm pretty certain that last time I checked, that was false advertising.
Possibly.
So maybe the WWE should be sued for that. But then they had Roman Reigns beat up some marshals, US Marshals, and they got such stick for it that Paul Heyman had to come out and save the day the next week, saying that Brock went down to the local MMA gym and hired a couple of people to dress up as the Shield in fucking Shield jackets. Sorry for swearing, TalkSport. But they basically got people dressed up as the Shield, and then he elbowed them, tied them up, and got the crap beaten out of him. So, I don't know. I kind of I really want Brock to win it, because I don't think Roman can. I don't think Roman's got the aggressiveness to do it. But my head says that Roman's going to win because they've been booking this all year.
And this is the thing, like, no matter what you believe is going to happen, 100%, like, you could, there's always a chance, and you just never. And this is why I love wrestling, because you just never know what's going to happen. I'm going to say
that's
Roman
because
Reigns,
it's one person basically making the call. Now, if see, that was a bit... Sorry, I'm going back, but that annoyed me. Roman going backstage to see Vince McMahon and saying it's because Brock's your boy. Yeah, get over it, mate. You're quite clearly his boy as well.
Yeah.
And I think, in many ways, all of... everybody who wins and has a prominent position in WWE is Vince's boys, because he obviously likes them enough to give them those wins.
True.
So why is he saying that? That made no sense.
Okay.
I don't think it's been booked really well.
Well,
and
yeah,
I
but
just
Roman
want to
Reigns,
see Roman Reigns get hurt.
That's the story of Roman Reigns' career. I still think Roman Reigns is going to win. For love it or hate it, I think it's going to happen. But then I could just be being brainwashed because I've been hating on him for so long. I might be starting to get Stockholm syndrome a bit.
I kind of hating on Brock as well, because since he's come back, there's not been any really decent matches. They've been really short, really sweet. So it'd be like Suplex City, constant, loads of suplexes, brilliant. I don't think he's got anything else. Do you know what I mean?
Regardless of what actually happens in the match, you know that as soon as they make their entrances and that bell goes, you're going to be on the end of your seat, and whatever happens, you're going to be eating out the palm of their hand.
Yes, everyone pays attention to those matches, I grant you. It's just, I don't know. You know what? I'm just, out of all the matches, I'm not sure I want to see that again. Well, I'll watch it when it's on.
Yeah.
Because it'll only be a couple of minutes.
Are you going to watch it live?
No.
Oh, you loser.
I've got work next day. It's 23 million hours long.
Book it off like every other wrestling fan does.
Some of us have mortgages to pay for.
Like me, and I've got the Monday off work.
Yeah, but you're working bank holiday.
Well, tit for tat. Anyway, so yeah, there's your predictions, folks. Either
Do
way,
you agree with us?
yeah, let us know. Let us know your
Well,
predictions.
what are the kids thinking on this one? They're going with Reigns.
Yeah, everyone said Reigns.
Everyone said Reigns.
Everyone said Reigns. I like how they know the kids though. That's something I
Yeah.
do like. Yeah. So yeah, folks, get involved on social media. Go over to facebook.com/figure4radio. Let us know what you think of the predictions.
Just tell us how right we are.
Yeah, basically, just tell us how amazing we both are. Please. Yeah.
Please.
Scott, where are you at on social media? Have you got anything you want to plug? You still want to plug your single?
Yeah, I'll plug my single because the album's due to come out very shortly.
When you say album,
Yeah. It's like
How-
a collection of songs that
how
comes
many
together.
How many tracks?
I think there's about... I'm stacking it up, so I think there's about 15 tracks gonna be on
Wow.
it. So I'm going
Okay.
to have some older recorded stuff that I'm going to put them on as demos because I've played them live, but I don't want to re-record them because they're kind of not me anymore.
Anything that I'm likely to have heard already?
Yeah, you'll have heard a few bits because I've played your show.
Such as...
Crush It On You is going to be on as a bonus track. Superstar is going to be on as a bonus track, which was actually the first song I think I played in front of you.
You were playing open mic at the Slug and Lettuce and you bought an electric guitar pedal.
I bought an electric guitar to an acoustic open mic night.
Nice.
So yeah, you can find me by going on Facebook, searching Scott Blackledge Music.
Is this going to be your first album?
It's going to be my first official proper album.
You've had EPs, right? Just never a full big album.
And this is going to be available on Spotify everywhere. So literally Google me on Spotify, Scott Blackledge. You'll be able to get the single Gracie Doesn't Care available on all online platforms.
Gracie doesn't care.
There's a remix version going on the album,
Gracie
so you can have something else.
Don't care at all.
The song Gracie Doesn't Care does also feature the vocals of Mr. Carl Brand and yourself.
If you listen really close, you really did bury me on that, like deep back in the mix.
Do you know why? In
Why?
all honesty.
Is that because I was giving you hassle on social media?
No, it's because Kai's vocals were so much better.
How was he better? How could have I improved? Give me some
It
feedback.
was just, he sounds like a newsreader. He sounds like he should be a radio presenter on TalkSport.
Well, he kind of is radio though.
Yeah, and it just worked.
Okay, fair enough.
And the timing's fitted. It just fitted by putting... You're basically Kai Brand's Echo.
Wow. Yeah, I don't like that. But then I guess I've kind of overtaken him in commentary, so it's tit for tat. I'm happy. I'm happy to be better than ahead of him in the commentary world and he can take the radio world. That's fine.
Okay, so in essence, Kai Brand, who is on radio, is on the forefront of my single, which I want to get played on the radio, so I've clearly made the right decision. And going back to it, you can find me as Scott Blackledge on any online streaming platform, and if you go onto Facebook, I am Scott Blackledge Music.
There you go. If you don't already follow me on Twitter, on what's it called, Instagram?
Yeah, and his Instagram is just pictures of Alexa Bliss.
My feed is because she's the only one that I
normally
that
through
I
a
follow.
window. I don't know how you get these ones, like hiding behind curtains, through bushes, all sorts of weird stuff.
On top of a ladder. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, we missed something completely.
What did we miss?
There is a possibility that the tag team match with the Bludgeon Brothers may have ladders in it.
Well, look, we're too late now. Tough.
Well, if that happens, I predicted it. If it doesn't happen, just ignore this bit.
We missed
if
the
you're
boat
still
on that.
listening to this, then
Yeah,
you're mental
I'm
anyway.
almost certain that no one listens to this end sign-off.
That's because you're doing so much stuff.
Well,
Tell us about it.
yeah. So,
Twister.
yeah. What Twister? What? Have I told you my Twister story? The Twister story yet from the other night?
No.
You know what? I'm not going to do the social media sign off. Sod it. You all know it by now, and if you don't follow me, then you can go and find it. Okay, so little.
Follow Luco Mack. He's
Luco
really
Mack.
good. He does some nice pictures.
He
and
actually
stuff.
does. So, Hope Future 3 up in Mansfield. We have a show in the middle, a match in the middle of the card. Twister versus Hustle Malone. Hustle Malone beats him, and then Team Mad.
Obviously.
Yep. Everyone on Team Mad starts beating up Twister. Twister's tag team partner new tag team partner makes a save, clears the ring. Out comes Hope Future owner and manager, basically the Triple H. Liam Morley comes out and kind of does his heel boss GM thing. Basically saying, I own everybody in the crowd, I own this ring, I own you, Twister. Next month, you and me, Twister, are going to have a match. Twister then picks up the mic, saying, Liam Morley, how's about we up the stakes? How's about we make it a Lego death match? Because Liam Morley
I've seen the other one, yeah.
Liam is becoming known for his Lego death matches. So Liam Morley then says, oh, you couldn't even afford Lego, you southern brat, blah blah blah. See you next month, blah blah blah. puts the mic down, walks away. It wasn't until after the show, and we were in the car on the way home, that I learnt Twister was never meant to pick up the microphone. So imagine this. Let's put this in the realms of WWE. So let's go. Hurricane Helms is in the ring with Triple H. Triple H is tearing him a new arsehole. He drops the mic.
What's up with that?
Huh?
What's up with that?
What's that? Is that
That's Hurricane's catchphrase,
I still don't really know a lot about Hurricane Helms.
Brilliant example to use. Well done.
I'm just going with a masked wrestler that's named after some torrential wind-based weather disaster. Imagine if Hurricane Helms then decided to go off script, pick up the microphone and tell Triple H, I'm having you in a thumbtacks match. Liam Morley could not say no because he would then look like a coward instead of being the big badass heel.
Yeah, but in fairness, I think that we're going off on a real tangent now from predictions, but I think that wrestlers nowadays need to be more cowardly. I think that's why Miz is so brilliant. How he's being cowardly. They're not. But still, stop being cool heels. Be people who are scared.
Twister cannot challenge.
No, I grant you. So that Twister's out of order.
In theory, Twister could not challenge the Lego Deathmatch guy to a Lego Deathmatch and have him turn it down, and because it wasn't meant to happen.
For those of you who are listening, if you do go to my music page, there is now a Twister T-shirt that is available for a discounted price.
But honestly, so basically, I was giggling the entire 3-hour journey home. No one else was talking. I literally just kept giggling every 5 minutes because I remembered what Twister had done. And literally, the more I laughed, the more Twister sunk into his jacket. And by the end, he was looking like Kenny from South Park. He literally has no idea why he did it. He basically just got carried away, picked up the microphone, and was like, you know what, Lego Deathmatch. And and it's just the funniest thing I've ever heard.
For the people at home, he's actually doing a full physical impression of Twister.
I think audio-wise, physical-wise, I think that's a good impression.
You should have him on the show more often.
Maybe. But anyway, as I was saying, I've been the Mastermind Ollie Spring.
I've been the Killer Kai Brand.
What?
I've been Scott Blackledge.
And folks, we will see you...
And this has been Brandon Blackledge Investigates.
No, it hasn't. Has it?
It could be.
Put it together. We'll put it out on the Figure 4 Radio Network.
Anyway, so yes, I'm Scott Blackledge, really. And we'll see
I'm
you
the
again
Mastermind
soon.
Spring. We'll be back next week with the WrestleMania live podcast, where we will be recording live from somewhere watching WrestleMania. Yeah, the pub.
But
until then, we'll see you next week on Figure 4 Radio.
Bye.
Lock it in.